right, here we go. Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 372. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
Adam Vale.
How you doing?
And Brett Murdoch.
What up, people?
All right, no Brian action. Storm from the X-Men is doing something to him, apparently.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's a storm happening in England or something. So, yeah, there you go. But he posted.
Let's hope it's not like a Zero Dawn storm or anything like that.
Oh,
That'll affect the rest of us. We can't have that, you know. What's going on to everybody in the chat right now? You already know. And unlike some other nights, I'm actually fully prepared, man. We can jump right into it, you know. Let's see. What is the first? Oh, mob hits.
Mob hits.
A potentially controversial question here.
We're
starting off hot.
Where's Richard?
Yeah, where is Richard? You know. Here
shout
we
out
go.
to Rich.
Yeah, you already know. All right. So the first question of the night is, should Horizon or Horizon? That's actually the name of the franchise.
Yes.
Really, if you think about it, that's a dumb name.
Yeah, we were talking about this over the weekend.
Yeah, because you always say Horizon for Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. That's cool, but like, wait, those are just subtitles. The name of the franchise is Horizon. That's fucking generic as hell. You know,
There's like a really popular racing game that has it on its title.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on, like, and then Horizon doesn't tell you anything about it, right? Think about it. Uncharted. That's a generic name too, but it gives you an essence of what you're getting into, right?
Uncharted.
Yeah, you're on uncharted territory.
Yeah, you're Uncharted. You know, you're treasure hunting. The Last of Us. These motherfuckers are dead. You know, it's only a couple of us
God of
alive.
War.
God of War. You're the fucking God of War. You know.
Yeah.
But this is like a Horizon. I'm like, huh?
It's supposed to represent the new beginning, right? Because isn't that the whole story? This is after everything on a new planet.
It's on the horizon.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, yeah, I was just thought about it. Anyway, so the question is, should Horizon and God of War go on a hiatus? My question is, where is this coming from? The last Horizon game came out 5 years ago, and the last God of War game came out 4 years ago. I think they're fine. Coming out every 4 to 5 years. Like,
God of War Ragnarok can come anytime soon.
Yeah, you know, like if it does come out this year, that would have been 4 years. Horizon's been 5, so I'm like, okay, so if they go on a hiatus, does that mean they're gonna not come back in for 10 years? You know what? I don't see the point of putting them on hiatus.
I don't feel like like those two franchises. I mean, to be honest, like I feel like when they with how bad the God of War, the last of the first batch of God of Wars did so horribly, like people just had that sort of like go away effect. I feel like it was, at least for God of War, it was the right amount of time to wait, and then now we come back and we essentially have a totally different game.
Yeah. By the way, Blitz says that they do need to take breaks to give new IPs a shine. Why can't new IPs come out this year or next year? You know what I'm saying? Like them making these games isn't taking away from other games being made. You know?
I mean, I don't think it's taking away from new games being made. And to be honest, like the one thing about it, like they want to sort of get you with that familiarity. Usually they'll have like a little bit of a console launch or something. They'll have like some familiar things, and then maybe one or two new things. Yeah.
James goes. He goes. In my opinion, they should go on a break, but at least for 4.5 years. But that's already happening. Again, Horizon came out. Horizon came out in 2017. That's 5 years ago. God of War came out in 2018. That's 4 years ago. They're already on a pretty long break. So I don't understand how much longer of a break do you want? 6 years, 7 years? You know what I'm saying?
The definitive
it's funny because it doesn't feel like that long between between that time, right?
Obviously, because we just had Horizon come out on PC 2 years ago. God of War came out on PC this year, so I could understand it like optically, but it's like no, if you just look at it as a game entry basis, it's been 4 and 5 years respectively. So there's no reason for these games to take a break.
I have the definitive answer for this one.
Okay.
Oh.
Both of these games should not go on a break because we still have yet to receive the next gen Horizon game and the next gen God of War game.
This is also true.
Yes.
This is also
Yes.
true.
These are
Oh, go ahead.
okay.
No, go. You're good.
These are an essential PS4 games.
Yeah, they are
That
PS4
got a
games.
little boost, and that's that's how they were built. So we need a God of War from the ground up, and we need a Horizon from the ground up just for PS5.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Logic wins. He says if you factor in the DLC and the new VR game, Horizon comes out pretty often. No, the DLC came out the end of the 17, if I'm correct, right? So that's still 5 years. And the VR game, we don't even know when the hell that's coming. And no one's gonna play that game anyway. Let's just be real here.
It's like saying Fallout comes out every year because we got like a million Fallout 3 DLCs, and we got Fallout Shelter and New Vegas and the 76, which shouldn't count as a mainline Fallout game.
Yeah. So yeah, these franchises, they're already on a pretty good clip. Like they're coming out every 4 to 5 years. They don't need to go on a hiatus. They need next gen editions. That's what they actually need.
I mean, that's a weird.
Matter of fact, I'll go even further. They need to come out faster. 3 years.
I mean, I think that the lead time is fine between them. But then again, when you look at if you look at how many years the original God of War was compared, God of War 1 to 2 to 3 2.
Yeah, those came out fast.
Those things came out stupidly.
And not only that, remember the PSP games also came out around that time. So it was so you had 5 God of War games. So I understand that, but it's like the new game is 4 years ago. So yeah, very strange question.
I feel like the one thing about it is that I think one thing is that maybe we end up hearing about these things a lot more than we used to. When a game goes away nowadays, it doesn't really go away. Because people are, especially with something like the recent God of War and Horizon, people have been consistent. It's been the conversation has constantly been going about those games, even though the games haven't been out.
Yeah.
So I think the news cycle. I think the news cycle when it comes to those things is just they feel like they're always there because people are constantly talking about.
Yeah,
them.
no, we always talk about that as perception. Logic Win says I think a lot of PS gamers want older franchises back, like Killzone, Infamous, Warhawk, and Sly Cooper, and they feel like Horizon is taking development time away from quote unquote better IPs, but it's not. That's one studio doing their thing. These other studios could do those games too. Maybe not Killzone, but Killzone. Let's just be honest, man. That franchise was just limping along to begin with. The Guerrilla finally found a franchise that's actually profitable and popular.
Which Killzone are you talking about?
All of them, the entire franchise.
I thought you were talking about another Killzone. All right, never mind. What's it called? I agree. Manny brought up a really good point. I think the whole thing with the conversation, it never dies. Horizon never dies, especially because once you get to the flagship franchise level of IPs with Sony, they're always like, okay, so when is that going to come out? When is a new God of War coming out? When is a new Uncharted coming out? When is a new Last of Us come out? And Horizon is now part of that, rotation, and it's always going to be in the back of the minds, especially since it's been successful. It's always going to be in the back of the minds of Sony fans. And there aren't that many big games to come out with in the first place, so we got scraps to look forward to.
Yeah, pretty much.
No pun intended.
Mob Hits goes, yeah, but those titles have peach fuzz. Oh man!
Well, actually, those titles don't have. Peach
they better have peach fuzz on Kratos. He has a big beard to compensate, I guess.
Have you seen the mods where they literally pulled his beard off and literally restored his original beard?
Oh, they made him look.
And apparently, he looks exactly like himself. They didn't in other words, just adding the crazy ass beard, the crazy man beard, literally changes his whole look. But they pulled off the beard and put the little G-bod there, and then he's back oh shit, he looks like himself again.
Yeah, like the model is exactly the same. I guess.
Yeah, the model is exactly the same. So essentially, it's not like they just totally reworked him.
Yeah,
they just literally just added a beard.
Interesting. Boy. Oh,
thanks a lot.
Skyther JB is now following on Twitch. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff. All right, we'll move on to the next question. Also from Mob Hits, I believe. Yes. All right. With Platinum Games and Ubisoft saying they would consider being acquired, I got questions about that. Will the majority of studios be acquired by larger entities in the next few years? Did Ubisoft actually say this? Am I missing something?
They did. They did say this, but I felt that the way they said it is like, everybody has a price.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is. It could be $1 trillion. But right now that there's no plans for it. There's no plans. They're happy with the way things are, and they're like, oh, yeah, we would always entertain that. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't
Well,
say
isn't that a little awkward? Because haven't they been fighting off Vivendi
Vivendi, yeah.
for years?
I think they want to be acquired by another game studio, not like a fucking venture capitalist.
And something that they would have some control where it's like, all right, listen, we're working out a deal as opposed to just someone saying, we own you, do this. So maybe they can get some kind of deal where it's like, all right, you're independent, or sort of like the way Bethesda's doing their deal. You can still get to produce what you want. We're not going to force you to make certain things, and we're your boss. Thanks.
It'd be like they say, hey, Ubisoft, like, hey, we wouldn't mind being acquired, and then Vivendi goes, really?
Yeah,
right. Not you, not you.
Oh man. So yeah, the heart of the question is like, are we going to see most of the big name studios acquired under the big three or something like that? I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's something people are worried about, but I don't think you need to worry about that.
Yeah. It would set up too many red flags. Like Microsoft's already got an investigation right now, right? So if Sony had acquired Bungie, so if one of those two just swallows Ubisoft, let's say Microsoft's like, okay, Ubisoft, we got you, bring you in here. Are you kidding me? Like that, the FTC and Department of Justice, they'll be all over. Are you kidding me? We just left. We gotta come back, and that would really create kind of a panic in the industry from medium-sized publishers and developers going, holy shit, like we can't survive in this environment, and they would start raising red flags, which would cause more FTC interference. The last thing you want is the government getting into the industry. This is why the SRB was formed and whatever. So like mad dash acquisitions would just cause the scrutiny, the eye of Mordor would just shine down the industry. Everything would come to a halt. All of a sudden you have fucking 800-year-old congressmen wanting to pass video game laws again and all this shit. Like that would be a nightmare. These guys, these execs like Phil Spencer, all these guys realize this. Like they do not want that kind of attention or heat. So they have to be very careful about the timing and who they acquire, right? They can't just go willy-nilly, we got to just throw money around and just buy it. That's not going to happen. So the next few years, I doubt you'll see many more of these, like very few, maybe a couple.
Yeah, because people think it's going to be the norm now. No, it's not. This thing's going to slow down significantly because of the reasons Chris just outlined. They don't want the government stepping in, so they're going to chill, I
think the next big change we'll see is just Ubisoft joining into Game Pass. That's pretty much it. Because right now their service is $14.99, and it's on Xbox, but it's $14.99. That's the same price that people playing for Game Pass Ultimate. So I think eventually they'll just say, you know what, let's just work out a deal and put our shit on there like EA did. Just call it a day.
Mob Hits, shout out to him. He's in the chat. He goes, what about, he wants us to address the Platinum. Yeah, probably,
I mean, Platinum, the one thing is that it's an amazing that Platinum has been able to last this long without essentially making mega hits.
Yeah.
With the exception of with Bayonetta and Nier Automata, I think they always constantly, and I mean they just reorganized their studio pretty recently.
Yeah,
where they have two different branches. It's like, what are you guys working on, and how are we gonna, how are they gonna do it? So I can see why they would want to do that, because especially again they're an independent studio, they're in the trenches, so that may have.
That's one of the few. That's one of the Japanese studios that are in that scenario where they could be bought by a Western studio, just like Bethesda bought the Tokyo whatever studio. What's the name? Tango something.
Tango Gameworks.
Yeah. So that happened because they were a smaller studio. They weren't like a big legacy.
Yeah, like
studio.
There's a better chance of a Western studio, a Western Western publisher owning a Japanese studio, but not the big,
not a publisher. Yeah, not like Sega.
Not a big publisher like Sega.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Square Enix or any of those.
Or Capcom.
Or anything like that.
Yeah, but just a pure developer. Yeah, that can. I mean, it has happened.
There's a better chance of that happening. But the thing about it is that do either looking at Platinum's track record, which is a good track record, it's not an amazing track record.
Yeah.
And do they see this as a good investment?
Yeah.
For them to essentially acquire this company.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, move on here. Now this one is controversial.
Oh, who's controversial?
It was actually the first question we asked, but I dropped it down because I don't want it to be the lead headline of this episode.
Okay.
Bilbo Swaggins. Get ready. Is Horizon Forbidden West guilty of cultural appropriation?
What culture is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna just answer no. It isn't, because it's not any appropriating culture. It's 1,000 years in the future. Dudes are living in tribal things the way humans have lived for 100,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's not appropriate anything, man. It's just taking obviously it's taking bits and pieces of the different cultures, but like every human culture has lived like that, had that tribal type of lifestyle. So they're not appropriating any specific culture, and literally there are no equivalents of modern human cultures in there at all. They're all brand new to the game, or unique to the game. So absolutely not. People are just saying that because again they want the controversy and all that. They want to feel. You know what? I'll stop before I go on. But yeah, they're looking for something to get upset about. I'll leave it at that.
I guess tell us after the show, but I have no clue which culture they're referencing.
No. That's the thing. I'm like, which one? Because Carlos, they just say indigenous. Like, which ones? I'm not. I'm telling you right now. There's nothing I'm not hiding it. I'm just. They say, what do indigenous people say? Which indigenous people? Because again, this game. Here's the spoiler: the game doesn't reference any modern cultures. It doesn't.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. Like, I mean, to be like, just because they have feathers and face paint or something like that, is that what people consider?
And I'm going to say this. Yeah, I'm going to say this. If you think of a specific people because you see imagery like that, you may want to rethink your biases. You know what I'm trying to say without me saying it, right? I'm like, if that's what comes to your mind when you see that, you may be stereotyping here, because to me, I'm saying like just primitive people. The way humans, the vast majority of human existence has been like that, except robots, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's how humans have always lived, for the majority of our existence. It's only in the last 10,000 years that we started messing around having civilizations and shit. But yeah, but again, and Manny, we kind of talked about this when we were hanging out with Mike. People don't know their history anymore. They just know about what's current. And they try to apply
their history.
That.
So
it's the thing is, it is their history. It's the history of mankind. We all live like that.
At some level, we will worship. The stories or things that we have been told became some sort of religion or some sort of belief or something like that. So it's like what the idea of that is like, okay, what if the legends that were told in our history were actually legends of a future of an advanced culture? Would that stuff seem like magic? Would that stuff seem like something to aspire to? What if you got just like how we are these days when we hear about some of these some of these stories are all passed down to the later cultures. These things become legends. They become beliefs and stuff like that. And I feel like that's the greater narrative, one of the portions of narrative. Essentially, a unconnected society, essentially seeing what this world was like in the past.
Yeah, and then coming up with their own like kind of versions of what could have been, because obviously they don't know the full story. But this is more in the context of like, oh, they look like specific indigenous people, therefore it's cultural appropriation. But I'm like,
but I just want to say that they look like specific indigenous people. I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I played 10 hours of Forbidden West. Yeah. It's a bunch of white, black, and Asian people in this game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, historically, like before the Industrial Revolution or anything, the idea that people skin animals and wear them and take metal, forge metal or brass or bronze or whatever, and adorn themselves and make armor and stuff, that's globally what people have done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is no specific culture. All humans have done this, and that's how humans have lived for the majority of our existence on this planet. You know?
I mean, I'm sorry if I'm only half paying attention here. I was ordering myself some dinner.
What'd you get?
Potato skins.
Ooh,
because I'm super Irish. So, like, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly, because I'm just having trouble processing what I'm hearing. People are saying that they're having a problem with the indigenous population of Horizon because they feel that it is taking over someone's culture?
No, they're saying that the designs in both Horizon games, right, are cultural appropriating indigenous cultures.
Appropriation, yeah. Okay, first of all, it's a completely fictitious thing, and I got to piggyback on what you're saying about like all cultures have beads. It's beyond an all cultures thing, man. It's a basically, if you take a bunch of feral humans who have never seen society and put them in a camp, there's like a 90% chance they're gonna invent beads. It's
right.
Like a bottom. It's as soon as we became human, maybe even before we became people, we had invented beads. It's so the simplest, lowest common denominator of decoration.
Yeah.
Or a wheel or a pyramid.
Yeah. And again, like you said earlier, it's like, hey, you get people together and they, in the wilderness, and they kill animals. They're gonna start wearing the skins.
Yes,
that's just
warm.
Yeah,
and also,
like, and again, sorry, Chris. In the world of Horizon, there's a bunch of robots. You kill robots. What are you gonna do? You're gonna start wearing robot shit.
Right. You adorn yourself with, well, in the Horizon it's technology, right?
Yeah.
But if you find precious stones, if one tribe, I dump one set of people in a region where there happen to be diamonds, and I dump another set of people where there's powders, which they could make paint.
Yeah.
Those people are probably going to make face paint and adorn themselves, and the other people are going to make jewelry because there's diamonds, right? That has nothing to do with Native Americans or Aztecs or nothing.
Yeah. That's just how humans are, yeah.
I understand what they're saying to a certain extent. It's just, be honest here, it's just a dumb idea.
Yeah, no, it's silly. Again, I know where they're coming from, but again, they lack the knowledge and history to understand what they're trying to say. They feel like they should be offended. It's like, no, you got to slow your roll here. No one's being offended here. They're not trying to
even then.
That.
Offensive.
Even then, like the part that they are correct on, even if somebody who was an anthropologist said, okay, I'm going to look at the nature of how humans throughout history have acted and use that as a template to build a completely fictitious civilization. Even then, using that as a template or a guide marker, it's not appropriation. There's nothing wrong with that. It is just simply recognizing the path that human history has taken and extrapolating. So even if you say even if you're like, well, I just made up beads, I just made up the concept of beads, even if you can't say that, even if you're like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of based off of an amalgam of cultures. Yeah. Well, at that point, you're just looking at what human beings tend to do. So yes, you can even say it's inspired by certain indigenous people, but it's not taking away from their culture. It's not appropriating anything other than the shared the human history that we all share. Because again, this shit goes back to the point where we were all in Africa back back when we invented fucking beads. This is a shared cultural ancestry. So beyond even the inspiration, beyond even the right to say I just want to say we all have the right to that. that is all of our history.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
people need to not fucking forget that.
Yeah. Again, that's just the problem. People just don't know their history now. But I don't want to stay on this topic too long, so we'll move on here and go on to the next question from Kishak. I don't know if he's in the chat or not. Kishak. I don't know if he's in the chat. Yeah, there he is. There he is. My man. He goes, humans like shiny shit. Yes, we do. We like shiny shit.
Yo, man, shiny.
His first question is, the Sony's strategy of seemingly not milking their franchises differentiated from Microsoft and Nintendo. PlayStation doesn't have a true mascot because it's always different each gen. Kind of what we talked about before.
Yes, it is.
But he's right. But like, with Microsoft, what the mascot is, right? It's Master Chief. We got a question about him, by the way. Mario, Mario is Nintendo, right? With Sony is like,
it switches around each generation.
Each generation is different.
Like one generation, PlayStation generation, the original PlayStation generation, you would have said it was Crash Bandicoot, and even that wasn't. That's not even it. He's Microsoft now.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you could have a three-way with tie with Spider-Man, Ratchet, and Kratos. Like throw them in a room. Who wins?
I'm gonna cast my vote for Kevin Butler.
he's the PlayStation 3 generation mascot.
He was the best PlayStation mascot. They should have never gotten rid of him. So what if he did a Firestone commercial? Go fuck yourself.
Nah, he was already done with PlayStation stuff by then. The thing about because he was part of the marketing campaign. But it's funny how people actually thought he was really
people are dumb.
He was a real employee.
People are dumb.
Yeah, he was really employee. He's actually got a Twitter.
Yeah, that's funny.
But it's. I think it's just because each time
Astro Body should be the pet mascot.
I mean, he kind of is kind of the modern mascot, but I mean he was kind of a low key game on the PlayStation 4. Maybe 5. He was, he seems more, but like, even they throw Sackboy in there. Is he a PlayStation? Is he the PlayStation?
He is not. Logic Wins, remember? He throwback Marcus. Remember him from the PSP commercials? Maybe he should be. They don't have a mascot. They don't.
No, they don't, because they sort of let the. That each generation has its own batch of characters and franchises and stuff. So they sort of just, hop from one to one. I mean, if you think about it like that the PlayStation, the PlayStation films opening that they recently showed on the new Uncharted film, it's like it's all the more recent characters. It's like. You see like Ellie and Joel. You see, Aloy from Horizon. Nathan Drake. I think Sackboy shows up in there for a second, and then Ratchet and Clank. That's totally different from early PlayStation. I mean, Ratchet is the only senior citizen in that whole situation.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Who's managed to last all the way up to a PlayStation 5.
Yeah. So
I think Nathan Drake is in the sort of lead of the pack of PlayStation mascot, since they made a movie for Uncharted, and apparently it's tracking to be really good in the box office. So
I don't know, man. I'd have to say Kratos. If in terms of real spokespeople, it's got to be Kratos. He's been used in so much of their marketing campaign, and every time a PlayStation comes out, it's you have to get a PlayStation because what about the next God of War?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't pin anyone down, to be honest. I would say, I guess it's Ellie now, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe Ellie's the new mascot.
I honestly don't know. It's difficult to answer.
It's got to be something they put on all their promotional material. That's usually
that's the thing. They always switch it around. It depends on what it is.
They don't have one.
They don't.
I mean, it is the big three: Ellie, Nathan Drake,
Kratos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Aloy is going up there now.
Yeah, Aloy's getting up
right.
there. Aloy's getting up there.
I don't
that's
know
right.
what that chick really looks like. I can't vision her.
Oh, I can show you what the model looks like if that's what you mean.
Number four is the Peach Fuzz.
I
I loved how the internet reacted to that one. Like, okay, so you've never seen a woman before.
Yeah. No, my favorite is like, tell me you've never touched a woman without telling me you've never touched a woman. Oh, man. All right, man. That was simple enough. I don't have the next question lined up. We went through that fast.
Whoa,
All right, but the next question is still related, though, to what we talked about. We were just talking about the Uncharted movie. So this next question is about the Uncharted movie. So also from Kishak, the question is it surprising that the Uncharted movie seems to be performing well? People expect Sony movies to flop, but the opposite keeps happening. So about the Venom movie and all that, and this movie apparently was directed by the Venom thing. Here's the thing. I can't say I'm surprised because standards have just gone so low lately, and people are just fiending to go back in theaters. This one looks entertaining, so like, let's go see Uncharted. They like Tom Holland. They saw him in Spider-Man. It's like, oh yeah, I like that guy. Let's go see him again.
Like the last Fast and the Furious was trash. They fucking went in space with a car. It was just a lot of bullshit, but it killed it in the box office. Like you said, people just want to go out.
I think the other thing is that in general, even going back to when we were young, it's always about like the kind of dumb movies always most of the time end up doing very well. So I mean, this is no real difference. But the thing is, you would just expect it to be a lot better than what it actually is, which is just essentially taking all the different set pieces from all the different Uncharted games and throwing them all into one movie.
Yeah, but I would say I would be shocked if even less than 5% of the people even know those scenes.
The general audiences,
the Uncharted is built to be for the general audiences. This is people who may not be in the know that heard of something called Uncharted. They know it's maybe a PlayStation game, and it's got two actors that they recognize. This works like any other mass market thing.
Transformers. Which Marky Mark was also in.
Yeah, Transformers. People heard. It's how Hollywood sort of works, and so this is what this is just little tributes to the not little but bigger tributes to all the different things that they can do in the games, and then plus connected by a story that's somewhat unique to the film. It's adaptation 101.
That's all it is.
Speaking of adaptation, I'm a little surprised it's doing this well based on the casting. Don't get me wrong, I've slowly come around to Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland kind of thing, like especially with Mark Wahlberg with the mustache, kind of gets there. But I'm convinced that they made a slightly bad casting call so that they can have these same people cast for the next 10 years. They're trying to get in front of this thing so that they can have it be a long, an evergreen franchise.
Yeah.
So this is, the riskiest one in terms of they don't have a developed audience. They're kind of going away from what the characters are in the video game. So it's not for the video game fans of which it's based, and it has yet to really cultivate an audience. So I don't want to say I'm surprised, but it a little surprised. I may be a little surprised.
Here's the thing. It's trying to serve two purposes. It's trying not to scare away the general audiences, but it's also giving those little nods for people to play, for people who played the games. And sometimes, a lot of times, that's all people need. They just need to see something familiar and they just lose their mind. Woo!
Mm.
Hey, get out of the plane! He said, no.
I think that... I think unfortunately they hit gold on this one, not for us fans, but this is for the Pirates of the Caribbean crowd, and it will carry that Pirates of the Caribbean crowd for the next 10 years based off what I'm hearing.
I mean, so, I think it's like
I was going to say this. They picked the right guy with Tom Holland. That guy's 25 years old. He looks like that. He's not going to get any older looking anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? So they're good to go with him.
Well, yeah, and Mark Wahlberg, they're perfectly situated to have him turn old.
He will get old, yeah. Because I guarantee you, 20 years from now, Tom Holland will look exactly like that. He's not going to age. You know, he's gonna be like John Cusack or Ant-Man. You know, it's like
well, that's what I'm saying. They cast both of them real young, and the only reason you do that in Hollywood is because you're trying to start a long, like, especially after the Marvel movies, everybody wants to have that 10-year franchise.
Yeah.
And so they're all trying to cast young actors, and that blows up in their face a lot of times. Tom Holland is probably honestly one of the better choices for that, because a lot of times they're just like, let's just cast a bunch of 21-year-old nobodies. And then turns out half.
Yeah, this guy's already superstar. He's Spider-Man, you know. So,
yeah,
you know.
So
they obviously use.
I think Mark Wahlberg's the big one. I agree with Tom Holland, but Mark Wahlberg is the big get in that because he is going to age like Sully, man.
Yeah, you're right about that.
That's it. That's if he's gonna want to wear the mustache, because he should have wore the mustache. It's like they give you the gimme somewhere at a point at the movie. I'm just gonna say this. Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, by the way, I gotta disagree with Manny. He said that this movie serves two purposes. It only does one, and it's to make money, and that's about it.
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to tell you what the two purposes are. The two purposes are, one, obviously to make the money, but the two purposes as far as audiences go. Not to be so over people's head to the point where they won't want to see it. Like, oh, well, it's based on a game. No, they're giving you everything inside of the film, you know, in a self-contained story. And then what they'll do is they give you the little gimmies, the reminders to the fans, okay, of these different things. But these things they usually steer clear of full-on adaptation. There are very few things that actually decide to really go for broke, and actually truly try to reflect the actual games or things that they're based off of. You've seen it all the damn time. You know, it's the difference between Dead or Alive, the Dead or Alive movie, and the Dead or Alive games.
Oh God. Yeah. All right. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. Looks stupid. All right. Next.
Can't wait for that Horizon Zero Dawn movie.
Oh, are they gonna stop it? Stop with video.
Come on, they're gonna make it.
They're making a Fallout 76 movie, which I am both angry about and actually think that might be the one thing that they could actually pull off.
Wait, 76?
76? Why didn't they call it Fallout?
No, I'm sorry. That was my brain. I just meant to say a Fallout movie.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
That's
my
bad.
We also have the Borderlands TV show coming. And that's supposed to be coming too.
Yeah, and they got the
is Fallout TV show or a movie?
I don't know.
I just know they're working on something.
There's Bioshock, the Bioshock thing coming too.
Either way,
dude, all of a sudden it's fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Either way, I'm not watching any of these fucking things unless they come to the happy place. You know. All right. Let's move on. Next question here. All right. One subset. If there wasn't an NFL deal with EA, would Madden still be relevant, or would it have gone the way of NBA Live? Also, what happened to that other licensed NFL game that was announced 3 years ago? I don't know what he's talking about with that one.
I mean, I don't know how old you are, but back in the day, there actually used to be multiple companies that had the NFL
had a
and
good one. Game plan.
Like back like 2K games. If you back in the Dreamcast day, 2K games used to create
Sega.
NBA games. Sega, you know, they used to make basketball and football games as well as EA.
Yeah, also you had NFL Blitz, NFL games.
Yeah,
a bunch of games.
Tecmo Bowl.
Well, and it used to be really cool because people would take different approaches. So you get one that's like super realistic, one's a little bit more arcadey. I mean, that's why NBA Jam was a thing. There were other basketball games, but NBA Jam was more arcadey, and people like that shit.
Yeah.
I think what he's talking about is that before, it's definitely, I guess it's 3 years now. It was before the whole COVID and all that. There was talks that the NFL said that they were going to get out of this exclusivity deal. That once it expires, they were going to open up the door and they wanted to explore other options. That's the same thing that FIFA, the organization, said recently, as of last year, that they were going to do the same thing. So we'll see if that comes to pass. But it's only good for the consumer. We want options. We want options. We want to see other studios throw their tech into the hat and see what they can produce. Because now, both franchises, FIFA and Madden, are running pretty stale.
Also, the FIFA organization bans people they shouldn't be, so who cares?
You know,
right?
Well, the one thing of didn't I can't remember, did Pro Evolution Soccer have the FIFA license?
No, they had certain club licenses. Like they had Barcelona for a while, then they had Juventus, and I think now they have just Ronaldo. It's weird, but yeah, it's one of those things. And even now they went free to play. Like they just couldn't hang anymore with it.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I think Manny actually just illustrated kind of the question to kind of. I think you can pull it back around. Like it is the doomed fate of all of these games that don't hit it big to just fade into obscurity and be almost immediately forgotten by almost everybody. I will say that because he's asking about, will these games kind of fade away? Yeah, I mean, sports games are really hit or miss. Either you hit and everybody fucking loves it, or you miss. It's kind of like people going for the Call of Duty crowd. You're either going to make a really big, battle royale game, or nobody's going to fucking remember it.
Yeah. It might be a pretty tough room too, because if another company gets the license, right? If they're offering multiple licenses to different companies, one company could be spending all this money on the license, and then they put out their game and it just doesn't do well.
It could be garbage, yeah.
Yeah, it could be garbage, or it could just be the fact that everybody just knows FIFA, soccer.
Well, we're about to see that with the whole Star Wars license. How now we got Massive Entertainment, the guys that did The Division, they're working on a new Star Wars game. So let's see when it leaves EA.
But the one thing is that the Star Wars franchise doesn't have the Star Wars game. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have that game that constantly keeps coming out and everybody keeps flocking to.
Well, that'll never stop. Even if the game is garbage, as long as there's fans of the sport, there's always going to be sales, because just people, it's ingrained in us all that if I'm not watching it, if you're a super fan, then you're playing it in some video game form. That's just what you do.
Yeah. All right. Move on here to. Oh, by the way, he asked us what other game franchise needs to be a movie, but we've answered that many times before. So we'll move on next to Assyrian Air Force, right?
Well, they should make a Throwdown movie.
When will Project Spartacus be officially announced, and will it be revealed during a state of play or a PlayStation blog post?
Who knows?
Who knows, bro?
It'll be announced at a major gaming event, I think.
You think so?
I mean,
he's just being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I honestly don't know.
Because we don't have those anymore.
Yeah, that is true.
Other than the award show, that's where you show all the previews for your games, of course.
Nah, it'll be Jeff Keighley. He'll just tweet about it in his in one of his tweets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's like, oh, by the way, Spartacus is being announced right after a state of play.
Yeah. In all honesty, I think it's going to be a blog post. I don't think they're going to make a state of play. It's for backwards compatibility. We're going to do a state of play. That's ridiculous. So I think it'll just be a blog post.
Is it me, or does this game seem like it's kind of getting pushed to the back burner a little bit? It's getting the Bloodborne treatment.
Project Spartacus is a PlayStation
it's a service.
Yes, a service. It's not a game.
Oh no, I'm thinking of what was the other project fucking thing they're working on? Project Athia?
Athia. Yeah. Well, after that hands-on preview that went out, even your boy who was excited is a little like, oh, I don't know about this, bro. No, we're talking about PlayStation
Spartacus. Yeah, the PlayStation Live.
Yeah, their version of Game Pass, basically. It'll be a blog post.
I'm telling you, there's no way. It'll be amazing if they did something like that where they put first-party games. Even if they put a high price, I just don't see it ever happening.
But the thing is, from the reports we've said, they're not going to do game. They're not going to do games on the day of. They're not doing that initially. So it's just going to be old games.
Maybe even some first parties, once they sell enough, once they get to that, like platinum level where they start selling them for $20 at stores, like that's when we'll get them. So now realizing exactly what we're talking about for a minute. Sorry, I took the scenic route, but I got here. I have to say, no. Blog post, I agree with you. There's no reason to make fanfare over this because they know it's not truly competitive yet. So the best they're going to do is showcase an inferior product, and I think they're smart enough not to do that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of assumptions there. Like again, there are definitely a big amount of people that do want to play their old classic PlayStation games, but at the same time, it's still old games. It's still old games,
They'll get a notification on their PlayStation.
Yeah,
the fanboys will get their ammunition. But they don't need to splash it across headlines. It'll still catch a few, don't get me wrong, but they don't need to come out and make a big to-do about it.
No. the blog post and everybody will post about it. That's it.
The question that I wonder then, if the only other thing that could really make it competitive, then if it's not going to be first party, is that third party is day one on Game Pass and Spartacus.
We don't know.
That's
Yeah.
No, I know. That's the only way I can see. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it's their equivalent." It's not. If it's not including those two parts, having first party day one, or having first party day one. That's it. That's the only way you make it equivalent to Game Pass.
Did you say first party twice?
It's third party and first party for day ones.
So Adam, I don't know that I don't think they're trying to be competitive. I think that they're just really catering to the narrative that if they don't have something like this, they will be considered the inferior. They will not have something that somebody else does. So they're trying to have it just so that they can say that they have it, so that their platform looks better, and B, that they have it to grow to be competitive down the line. But I don't ever think it's gonna get to be the same thing Xbox has.
And that's what I'm saying. It's the fanboys that are labeling this, because Sony hasn't said shit about it.
Yeah, they haven't.
It's the fanboys that are saying, "Oh, this is their equivalent." According to what?
Well, actually, even the initial report labeled it as such.
I think
where are they getting it from? That's the thing.
Well, ask Jason Schreier. He's the one that got the sources, man.
I think you guys are dead wrong on all of this. Obviously we're just speculating here, but I think the only reason why this Project Spartacus even exists is because of Game Pass.
Isn't that what we've been saying? We've been saying
that. It's their fake answer to Game Pass. They're like, look, you can't say we don't have it.
Because Brett says that this isn't supposed to be like Game Pass. I'm like, the only reason why this exists is because of Game Pass.
But Brett literally said it is supposed to be like Game Pass, just shitty. That's what Brett said.
No. He said.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brett.
No, Tony's right.
Yeah. See, there you go.
It's shitty Game Pass, so they can say they have Game Pass.
Yeah, that's what Brett was saying this entire time, dude.
He said it first, but then he said something that it's not supposed to be their answer to Game Pass.
Oh no! I said it's not really going to be competitive.
Yeah, it's not
it's never going to actually compete. It's just meant to look like it's competing. It's a facade.
But when you say that it's not going to be competitive, is because you think that they're in different leagues, or it's because Sony is actually not trying to be competitive with Game Pass? There's two different situations.
It's another Sony toe dip, buddy. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's
it's
what this is going to be.
So nobody can accuse them of not doing. They'll be like, yeah, sure, we did something like that. Our console's just as good. Like it's a facade. It's a sham. It is just the front of the store to say that, it's like a bunch of just storefronts, like stage prop storefronts lined up so somebody can say that they have a town, or that their neighborhood doesn't look so empty. It's like, yeah, I mean, it looks that way to the at a casual glance, but then you look at it and you're like, no, it's not the same at all.
The moment that this, if any, like I said, it's going to be a sort of a toe dip. It's going to be a more advanced toe dip than from before, right? But it's not going to be the only time it will ever become to the level of Game Pass is if the industry changes. Right now, they currently have the corner of physical. They have the idea of the corner of physical gaming, right? And then as soon as that sort of changes, that's when they'll start more aggressively putting more into that service.
Well, it's not if, it's when. The future is inevitable. Game Pass has such a big fucking lead on PlayStation. It's not even funny, and that's why Brett keeps saying that they're not going to compete, because Microsoft is just so far ahead of PlayStation. But PlayStation, the whole reason, and like I mentioned earlier, the whole reason why this exists, because they already, like Manny mentioned, they already dipped their toes with PS Now. The only reason why this exists is because it's an answer to Game Pass. Whether it's going to be a shitty one, whether it's going to be a less competitive one, or nowhere near in the league of Game Pass, it exists just to compete for Game Pass, because Sony realizes that the market in the future is not going to be physical games. It's not going to be the traditional, console releases and buy the games for the console. It's going to be the service, and the service.
By the way, no, I just got to make a quick correction, because I know some fanboys are going to come at us. When Carlos said that Xbox is ahead of PlayStation, he's talking about Game Pass specifically. Yeah, we're not like Frost here,
Yeah,
just Game Pass, the technology, the library, the backwards compatibility, the cloud integration,
instant play. That is
Game Pass is already ahead. The way I kind of see it is like this is what we've been asking for is PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus combined into one. Thank you. We finally get what we wanted. So the way I kind of see it, like I don't think again that's how the reporting is because that shit gets headlines. I don't think it will be like Game Pass. It'll just be Sony's like, hey, here's PlayStation Plus. Plus, you also get all these old games that you used to like. Obviously, we still got to know if you bought these games, do you have to rebuy them again? Shit like that.
That's
okay,
a big
Tony.
Question right there.
I hear where Carlos is going, making the differentiation, and I got to say, I think he's right. They will advertise this every bit as their answer to Game Pass. The thing I was kind of saying before, the most apt analogy I can come up with is, it's like they're saying, we don't need to get first place in the marathon. We just don't want anybody to accuse us of not running the race. Yeah. So they're perfectly happy trailing in second as long as they're still kind of making that race
with Game Pass, because remember they're still number one with console sales.
No, specifically with games as a service kind of infrastructure. They're kind of half dipping their toe in the water so that they're ready, they're there. They're not really putting a lot of effort in because they're not really trying to even be first place, most likely because they know that they can't. But at least now people say at least they're still there. At least they're competitive. In a lot of people.
By the way, I disagree. I disagree with they can. If Sony put effort into this, they'll blow Game Pass out of the water because they actually have 25 years worth of games. Unlike Game Pass,
they ain't got the money. They ain't got the money to put new games going forward.
Well, we don't know that. You don't know that.
We know Game Pass is taking a loss, and Microsoft can afford that shit.
Yeah. So Sony's going to do their version of it. But I'm saying if Sony actually was competent about this, their version would be way better than Xbox's.
If Sony released games day and date, then I still feel like it would be a toss-up, but almost everybody else would say...
It'd be a competition, that's for sure. There'd definitely be a...
Yeah, because again, you have 25 years of PlayStation legacy.
They have this clinched.
Yeah, because again, the biggest problem with Game Pass has always been that there has no fucking games on it. Now it finally will because of Bethesda and Activision. But you don't. If you compare Microsoft's legacy games to PlayStation's legacy games, there's no competition. Sony blows it out the water. Same thing with Nintendo. I've always said Nintendo and Sony, if they ever had their own version of Game Pass, would kill fucking Xbox Game Pass instantly because they have the better games, the better first party games.
Especially with Bethesda and.
Again, well, obviously things are different now, but I'm saying historically the legacy isn't there.
I get what Tony's saying. Like forward-looking, Microsoft has a stronger play with Game Pass, but if you were to do go retro with history, like Sony and Nintendo would dominate them.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. Easily.
And here's the thing, like, well, Nintendo, their implementation is terrible. Then
and we're not even talking about them. Yeah.
The thing with Sony is like they have a bad track record of supporting their efforts like this, so the trust isn't there. Whereas Microsoft has the trust, like, hey, we're giving you full backwards compatibility. Hey, we're giving you this, whatever. They're all in on Game Pass. Like, there's no way they're abandoning it. This is like full steam ahead on this stuff. So, you like if you're buy into it, like you're fine. Like that's not going to be an issue. But if you buy into Sony's, like I have a concern because their history with like supporting their handhelds or supporting peripheral stuff, like it's they just lack on that. They only focus on the major things. It's like always PlayStation and everything else is ancillary and not really given the support or the attention or the budget it needs to succeed.
I agree with Chris. That's the whole issue here. Microsoft, Xbox, the Xbox division might not necessarily be, the best developers, for their Azure servers, but they have a corollary team in the same parent company that could do the infrastructure for them. They got the developers, they got a lot of people within the Microsoft umbrella that can leverage this type of service. Sony's a lot different, and it's gonna be much harder to have like a good, especially cloud service around them. PS Now, from what I've heard, PS Now isn't as good of a service in terms of
it's not
latency and everything as xCloud is. But I think it's when it comes to competition, when it comes to the reasons why they're doing this, Sony does not have a choice. This is the future of where these types of games are going to be featured in. and they've already been, dipping toes. They've already been dipping their toes into the PC realm. So we know that these games are going to be playable on the PC in the future. And I feel like the more time they give Microsoft with Game Pass as the juggernaut of this type of service, because Stadia and Luna, whatever that those things aren't competitors anymore. Microsoft is gonna be at the top of the food chain. It's not only gonna overtake Sony in terms of market share in live services and subscriptions, it's gonna overtake just overall, revenue. Even if you combine the Sony stuff with consoles and sales.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Mob Hits, man. The bits, Brett.
And the rumors.
Yeah, and the rumors. Yeah. All right, man. Move on. Good conversation. Assyrian Air Force still. Okay. Did Microsoft play it too safe with the Xbox Series X controller in terms of its overall design? Because it looks the same like the last one. I think it was fine because the last one was great. The Series X controller.
Oh, it's almost completely different than the other one.
Yeah, it is different.
I wouldn't go that far.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I have 3 of them.
No, I don't think you have the Series X one. Well, no, you had the blue one.
Bruh, are you kidding me? I have 3 of them. The only difference is like it's smaller. The D-pad is a little different, and the biggest thing is it has a share button. Other than that, it's the same. But I'm like, it didn't need to be redesigned because it was fucking almost perfect as is.
It's got the textures.
Yes, it's got the textures in the back. Yeah.
Well, no, Adam, that's he's talking about the more so the silhouette of the whole thing.
It looks about the same.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. And by the way, he also mentioned up like the fact that it still uses batteries. So he's saying like, why didn't they go a little bit harder?
I like that. You shut your mouth.
Did you tell that to Assyrian Air Force? I think my that's fucking
My PS4.
I got the Horizon controller too, Adam. You forgot when I showed that shit?
The anniversary edition. I love that one, but now it can barely hold a charge.
Yeah,
and it sucks. And so I wish I could just take out that battery, which I'll probably have to take the whole shit apart to put a different rechargeable in there.
Here's also a bit of a dig. I have to put a battery in my Xbox, but then I have the choice to not choose one that fucking sucks.
Oh.
I get more than 3 or 4 hours charge out of my goddamn battery because I spent more than 12 cents on it.
That's crazy.
I mean, and if you get desperate, you just throw some Duracells in there and keep going.
Right? I like having that backup option, to be really honest. Like, at first you think you're like, I'm going to be really upset, but like, dude, $20 Amazon, boom, done. And you got a controller that like has the battery power of the Wii Pro controller. Like, I never have to charge my Xbox controllers. Never.
Well, you don't.
A good healthy gaming session, I will burn through 1.5 charges on a PlayStation. I have to have 2 PlayStation controllers just for me in case I want to play more than a couple few hours.
Damn, you must have some shitty life on that. Like mine's at least lasts me a good 8 hours. 8
hours, really?
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm being dead serious, man. 8 hours.
I get like 4 off.
Playing Horizon Zero.
Yeah, Manny, you were there. Like light went off. Manny, you were there. How long did that thing lasted me all day? The controller.
Yeah.
To Brett's defense, I played like a 3.5, 4 hour Horizon Zero Forbidden West session like yesterday, and I had to recharge the controller because it was already running out.
Was it fully charged when you started?
It was fully charged, yeah.
All right, that's crazy. My shit lasts fine, But then I'm kind of cycling through 3 controllers, so maybe that's why,
I'm that part of it. But let me ask you, is it anything next to your Pro controller?
Oh no, the Pro controller is the best one out of all of them.
And battery life.
Yeah, but that's not a fair comparison. That's just like 40 fucking hours.
No, it is a fair comparison because you put a good battery in the back of your Xbox controller, it lasts that long.
Yeah,
which Pro controller?
The Nintendo one.
Nintendo.
But I'm sorry. I do have to deduct points for the Xbox One because of the fact that it takes fucking Duracells. The Xbox controller is the only one I have to actually have plugged in. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Because I'm not trying to put Duracells. This is the fucking 1990s.
You just get a rechargeable pack. You just get a pack.
Oh, those things are trash.
Yeah.
I bought the official for the last gen Xbox One. I bought the official Microsoft rechargeable pack. That shit lasts 2 fucking hours.
I've every generation I've bought a plain charge kit, and every generation they always disappoint.
I don't use a plain charge one. I use the third party ones. They last long.
I understand.
Why?
I understand what the pros of having the batteries, but I just wish that Microsoft provided a removable, rechargeable battery.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree. I'm not praising. Like in my opinion, it gains points and loses points and comes out basically flat even for that. Like I like having a controller that I can recharge. I don't like the fact that I had to buy it. I do like the fact that it lasts longer. I don't like the fact that your third party ones work better than your first party ones. So all in all,
it'd be cool if they did sell the controller and then they gave you options like, hey, do you just want double A or do you want a rechargeable battery pack?
No,
they should give you the pack with the controller.
Yeah,
they should give you the one pack with the controller, and then tell you can buy other packs instead of buying extra controllers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Microsoft should have partnered with somebody like Toshiba or something. Make them a custom battery that could have fit, but at any time you can take it out, right? You could buy extra batteries or whatever. If you want to throw Duracells in there, at least the option's there. So it's hard, like with like one of my PS4 controllers, it doesn't hold a charge anymore. It's like totally dead. So what would I have to do? I'd have to open it up and take the battery out, like it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, take it apart. So that kind of sucks. So the option to like actually just have the case open and then you remove the battery, I think that's a win for their design. Like
I like my 30th anniversary, whatever anniversary one, the gray one, Space Gray. It's beautiful. I love it, and I played with it. I guess too much because I got it'll maybe work for like an hour or two, and then I'll get the notice that battery's low.
That's wild. And it's also just to be transparent here.
Oh,
well, not transparent. Just to be real here.
Transparent, like a transparent controller.
Yeah. Well, it's not transparent, but to be real, I think is a better way to say it. But
to be more real here. You being dead ass though?
Yeah, I'm being dead ass. The reason why Microsoft does not have a battery on it is because they make more money and they sell it for the same price as a DualSense. That's the reason why they're doing it. So they have their Xbox fans that fight the fight for them. Say, no, we don't need a battery.
Yeah,
I like buying Duracells every fucking month.
Exactly. Fuck that shit. I'm not buying no Duracells every month.
No, I just get the rechargeable battery packs. You don't need the Duracells.
So they both have issues. And just to answer the question, Microsoft did play safe with the design of the controller, but it's a really great design.
Yeah, they don't need to change it.
Yeah, I don't think they needed to change it.
I agree. Leave it the same.
I agree. I don't think it's literally it's like the common speech,
Yeah.
The common tongue.
The common tongue.
It's like the common tongue.
Build your own controller. That's a cool thing. Build your own.
But it's like it worked out really well, and I feel like they hit a design that they don't need to adjust so much. Other than maybe add some additional bells and whistles as far as haptics and all that other stuff, and they did whatever they needed to do. But otherwise, it's a very familiar controller, and it probably will stay that way with every iteration.
Here's the irony, in my opinion. Each of them change just enough each generation that that they redesigned them. They just came up with the same answer.
I mean,
everything, all the buttons are a little bit shifted on each iteration, just a little bit. They re-sculpted the same thing, but they just decided, this is good. I'm just gonna do the same thing from scratch. At least that's what it feels like.
Yeah, man, I remember even with the Xbox One when the original when it came out. No, not the original. The Xbox One in 2013. The freaking bumper buttons were shit. Remember that?
Shit bumper. Yeah, it was shit. Also, you needed a dongle to plug in your headset. It didn't have the 3.5 millimeter. It didn't have Bluetooth built in. That was a pain in the ass. It was just shit. That was by far the worst fucking Xbox controller.
It had that glossy on the top where the Xbox button was. Was that glossy part of it? It was ugly as hell.
You talking about the Duke?
No. When the VCR
the other one, not the real one.
The Xbox One VCR edition, the launch one, and that controller that came with it. It was
TV one. Xbox TV, that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what that's what Xbox One, the original one. That's going to be called Xbox TV. That's what we'll call that for now.
Oh my god, that makes things so much easier.
I'll just call it the epic fail model. The VCR.
Okay. So everybody watching the show, everybody listening now, Xbox One, the one that came out, ONE, the capital, that will no longer be called One. That will now be called Xbox TV.
All right, man. Let's move on here. This is Kate Antonio. All right. Oh, all right. Master Chief's face will be revealed in the upcoming Halo TV series. This is true, by the way.
No.
How do you? Yeah. Okay.
I'm okay with this.
No, I'm not okay with this.
I'll tell you why.
Nope, not cool.
Epic
Not a real Halo
fail.
fan, Adam. Sorry.
Epic fail.
Epic fail.
I'll tell you why.
Why does he need to show his face?
I'll tell you why.
Adam.
Because this is
Adam,
the
I'm
RoboCop.
listening. Just don't advance. You're wrong.
This is the RoboCop. We've always talked about it. RoboCop in space.
You know what fucking RoboCop looked like before he took the mask off, man.
Exactly. And that
you don't know what Master Chief looks like
because it wasn't told. It was.
But there's a reason for that. He's you. That's the thing. You're projecting onto Master Chief.
Then if that's the case, I want to change my voice. Let me change my damn voice.
The only thing we know about Master Chief, I think, is that he's a white guy. If I remember correctly.
Hey, listen, we don't know that now, do we?
I mean, Marcus Phoenix isn't a white guy either. Just remember that.
Well, no, because remember, didn't they show him from like the bag, like put it on his suit or something?
Hey,
like
but this is a TV
Carlos,
series. They could go off, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you played Resident Evil, right? You know what Leon Kennedy looks like?
Yes.
Did you see that last movie?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see
I'll
the
leave
last
that
movie.
there. Yeah.
Oh.
Just look at the
Yeah,
cover.
he
You
looks.
don't even need to watch the movie.
Leon looks like Saeed from Lost in the movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Leon in the game looks like a Backstreet Boy.
Yeah, and in the movie he looks like Saeed. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. That exactly. That's a good description. So I mean, we don't know. Like Master Chief could look like anything right now. It could be a chicken under that.
It could be.
I'll tell you. Here's the other side of it. When I first heard about when they were talking about, in the Mandalorian series, he's gonna eventually take his helmet off. I'm like, that defeats the whole point. I don't want to see that shit. But you know what? I'm okay with it now. And
the thing is, the thing about it is that at least with at the point that they gave you the helmet removal, or when you actually saw it, it actually meant something.
Yeah. Oh well, you don't know what it's gonna mean when here. They said because apparently this
it does.
They said it was a backstory that this is crucial to telling the story of who Master Chief is and how.
Listen, I'll just say this. This series is probably going to be trash. So why are we even talking about this?
I agree. I agree.
It works in Infinite.
It's going to be trash.
Well, it's good. I mean, the series slash show slash movie slash mini, it's been slash series has been in the works for almost 2 decades, and anything that takes that long, it's been in hiatus under that much amount of time, is probably not going to be good.
Yeah, everybody's had their hands on that bitch. See, okay, here's my problem. We all know that Master Chief is just 3 raccoons in a set of armor. So what are they going to do when they actually take the mask off?
That's it. It's over. They're all going to run out, and then Master Chief's dead. And
I know they're just going to. The raccoons are going to scatter. The armor's just going to clatter to the floor, and then we're just going to get roll credits.
I'll tell you this much also.
Yeah, that's it. Just roll.
When I heard about Peacemaker being a TV show, I was like, what a waste of money. And I didn't even want to bother watching it until I finally did. And I'm like, shit, that's like my show of the year so far. I couldn't believe how I was.
No spoilers.
Wrong.
Oh shit, is James Gunn doing Halo?
So that's why I was like, you know what, fuck it. He only did like 1 or 2 episodes.
But that's a show. He consulted and he wrote some of it. So, and it follows along from his Suicide Squad movie. So it has some kind of lineage. Like who's working on Halo?
343.
343 hasn't written a good Halo story in a while.
They're doing the story.
Oh, then we should be worried, because especially with the story of that last Halo game.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've never seen them actually do a successful Halo story. Why are they going to start now?
Look, Adam, I understand.
But under that, I don't care. You know, I have no horse in this race. But
because we know where your horse is.
Yeah, my horse is.
Not if it's Marcus Phoenix.
Forget it.
Hey, Adam, have you heard about the Gears of War miniseries?
Don't even say that.
See?
There you go. There was talks of that for the longest time. Vin Diesel was up for the role, and then they scrapped it. And then Batista wanted to do it, and then they said, "No, we can't do it, but we'll put you in the game."
So Adam, you've been talking to Dutch way too much. I think
He
we
doesn't
need
lie to
a
me.
I
He did
think
lie
we
to me
need a
on Thursday,
conscious
but besides
uncoupling.
that, we script. Yeah.
Well, no,
No,
you know,
but
because Dutch also has a cog inside of him, so you also got
Oh,
to
dude.
realize that too.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I just ever since they announced this for the Paramount Plus, I just don't have any faith in this
Wasn't this
being
going to
any
be a
good.
Showtime show? I could have swore they said
It was gonna be a
Showtime.
movie.
Well, it was gonna be HBO. It was all over the place.
It was
This
on
was
the History
shopped on
Channel. Remember
everywhere.
years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was going to be everything at some point.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. But now it landed on a network that brought us Star Trek Picard. So fuck that shit.
Oh, dude.
Yo, by the way, I love how I didn't even finish the question.
More?
Yeah. No, the question was the question was simply how do you feel about it? But there's your answer.
You didn't need
Yeah.
to get that far.
Hilarious.
We could tell you what that was.
Keep an open mind. That's
all I'm gonna say is
I'll
I'm
watch.
with everybody but Adam. Don't show his
watch
fucking face. But then again, I was not gonna watch. This show's probably gonna be fucking garbage, just like
I'm not gonna
everything
watch this shit,
is on TV. Everything sucks now, so it's gonna be
Yeah,
just
it's
bad.
almost guaranteed to be
It's
garbage.
gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Let's think positive, people.
Nah, fuck that.
Positive.
Just like that Uncharted movie looks like trash too.
I want it to be good.
Did anybody see it? I don't know. I didn't see it on Uncharted. I think Richard Bailey.
Oh yes.
Rich did see it. It's just interesting that we're switching gears here, but that Uncharted has a 90% audience score and a 40% critic score on Tomatoes. So
wow.
It's the flip. So maybe everyone's wrong, or
Maybe Venom guy has it in there. Maybe he's able to make garbage that's tolerable to people that don't that garbage that's tolerable to regular people but intolerable to people who actually care about the original content.
Or people who actually have taste. All right, move on here. All right, what are we up to? What's up?
I can't wait till they put Mila Jovovich inside of those Uncharted movies, because it's gonna happen. She's gonna end up in there.
Whatever. I'll watch anything she's in. I don't give a shit.
Yo, Tony.
Yeah.
I do have a question I can interject here if we're light on questions, because I feel like this is a pretty good one. I don't even know if it was asked.
What's up? I mean, we're kind of doing good for time tonight, but yeah, go ahead.
Because I kind of want to have thoughts. I don't know if me and you have been the only ones to play it, but I'm curious to see what the thoughts are on Horizon Forbidden West.
No, yeah, we're not going to talk about that tonight. We'll talk about that on Thursday, because that'll be another 20 minutes. I'm not trying.
I haven't even started.
Yeah, I'll be another 20 minutes, man. So I'm not trying to do that. We still got a good amount of questions left, All right. Let's move on here. All right. Logic Wins, who's also been joining us. He goes, "Happy Sunday." Probably Monday now, but yeah, thank you. All right. With the Capcom website's countdown timer set to expire in the next few hours, I think it expires at 1 a.m. Eastern. What announcement would each of you like to see? And he goes, Resident Evil 4 remake would make sense as tomorrow is President's Day. And Resident Evil 4 plot centers around Leon rescuing the president's daughter. And then Mob Hits goes, if they announce Street Fighter 6, would it make sense to keep it exclusive? So yeah, Capcom has this countdown. My thing is like wait and see. I'm not gonna hope for anything. We'll see what happens.
Everybody's wish casting.
I'm not doing that.
Oh,
shit,
it's Street Fighter 6. It's Dead Rising. It's this. It's that. Everybody's wish casting. So there's no. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
It's like who cares? Like I could say, oh, I hope it's Darkstalkers. Like that's not gonna happen. Or I hope it's Dino Crisis. That's probably not gonna happen. What's making the money right now? Monster Hunter and Resident Evil. So most likely it's one of those two things. That's what I'd say. But that's from a purely like, hey, what's doing well for them right now? Those two things. So might be the Village DLC, might be some Monster Hunter shit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, not 15 minutes. 15 minutes and an hour and 50 minutes to make it.
Well, it says an hour on the thing. It doesn't specify the minutes. So
yeah. You know me, I don't like wish casting. I don't like all that speculation bullshit. So I'll just wait and see. I'm not trying to like, oh, but we're gonna do this. Man, it's stupid. I'm not doing that nonsense. So we'll just wait and see.
All right, then we'll do it.
Yeah, you guys go right ahead. I'm just saying, whatever.
Tony's like, no.
It makes no fucking sense. Just wait and see.
We all know it's gonna be a Lost Planet 1 remake. That's it. That's just the way it is.
What's weird is like why at Sunday at midnight?
Well, Japan,
Monday,
yeah, it's like 2:00 for them, in the afternoon.
Hey, think about everyone else, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And like, listen, America's off, bro. You wait another day,
Yo, man, Brian's sleeping right now, man. Think of him.
Yeah, right. So yeah, if you guys want to speculate, you go right ahead.
Oh, by the way,
I just want a Monster
by the way, just to remind you all, on the 18th of and from 2014 was the day that Strider came out on PlayStation.
No.
Yeah, they remake.
Strider Bionic Commando.
It's
I want
also
something else besides Resident Evil. I'm over that shit. I'm just tired of Resident Evil. Everything's Resident Evil.
Yeah. By the way, so 19 years since the PS4 came out.
Bam.
Or no, that came out was announced. Was announced.
Yes,
yeah,
it's also the anniversary of that.
Also the anniversary of Deep Down was announced.
Yeah. It's also the 9-year anniversary when my PlayStation decided to die.
Oh man!
Because by the way, guys, we have been doing this show for so long that literally we did that announcement for that show for the PlayStation 4, and that day my PlayStation died.
Yeah.
I was out getting my PlayStation fixed.
That is wild. Yeah, PlayStation 3. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Moving on here. Oh, some sponsored questions to finish up the show here. So the generous fella named Romudeath.
It was his birthday pretty recently.
I think he may have had a birthday just like I did. Sponsoring 2 questions. The first one here is from Mob Hits. And I think Brian probably would be a person that knows the answers to this. He goes, "What do you expect to see at the future game show? Showcase this year?" My question is, what the fuck is the future game show?
Yeah.
The future game show?
Yeah, the future game show.
Or maybe he's talking about a future game show this year?
No, it says FG. He wrote a FGC. I'm like, what the FGS? I'm like, what the fuck is FGS? So I looked it up. It says future game show.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Like, what is? I don't know.
Never heard of it. No, so I guess we can't answer questions. I have no idea. But it's apparently.
Well, Mob Hits is in the chat.
Yeah, Mob Hits. Can you explain what is future game show? What is this? I've never heard of this before.
Why?
Like, I have a feeling I could be completely wrong. I have a feeling some maybe Saudi Arabian thing. Because I think something like that may have happened.
Future Game Show 2022. Everything you need to know. The Future Game Show is Game Radar's flagship digital game showcase.
Oh, okay.
It's everything you need to know about the event in 2022.
Wait. So this is a website's game award show or something.
Game Radar. So yeah.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Games Radar. They're part of the family. But.
And you don't know about it? You didn't get the email?
No, I mean, I probably did. I don't check that shit. When it says Future Inc., I'm like, I don't need to read that.
He could also if Tony did know, he would not be able to comment.
That is true. Yeah, but okay. So Games Radar, shout out to them. I don't know who cares. Whatever. Again, me. I don't like speculating. We'll see what happens. But I had no idea. They were doing anything like that, A website? Wait, hold on. So is this like a website's version of E3? What is this? Mob Hits, please let us know, bro. I don't know what the fuck this is. Nobody in the chat does, That's why that's why I'm like, what is going on here, But I guess nobody else but Mob Hits does, and he's taking a break. All right, fuck it. Nobody. We can't answer the question. We don't know what this is. All right.
Why was that sponsored?
Because it's an extra question. By the way, guys. Obviously, if you want to throw in some extra questions, you can. But I'm gonna clamp down on them a little much. It's like, I saw 4 questions by 2 dudes. I'm like, yo, you guys gotta chill. Just at least one extra. Anyway, last question of the night. This one's kind of funny. From a Syrian Air Force. Would Horizon Forbidden West have scored better on Metacritic if it was named The Legend of Zelda? Because everybody was saying it's like, if it was a Nintendo game, it would score better. We talked about it on the Thursday show. It's like, yeah, the aggregate went down because of that one website giving it like a 6 out of 10 or some shit like that, or maybe even lower.
Australian one.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was some site. You mentioned.
Yeah, not FGC, FGS, Mighty Nerd. You know,
the score seems pretty accurate from what I heard. I mean, like, here's the other thing that a lot of people, like, I just want to point out: if it weren't already teetering at a 90, then that one score wouldn't have brought it down that much. And I don't think 89/90. Like, I feel like that's a pretty good review for the game, considering what I've heard. Yeah. Well, considering what I've heard, and I've heard, like, it's good. It's just more of the same. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds like a pretty fair score then.
Yeah, exactly.
Even 89 sounds like a pretty fair score. B+ for more of the same. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, apparently it's 88 now. Uh-oh, controversy.
Oh no. Now it's not worth playing.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolute trash. That game that you enjoyed this weekend is absolute trash now because it went down by 1 point. Right, just throw it out right now. Just delete it. You know, get rid of it. You know.
Hey, speaking of not worth playing, Dying Light still sucks.
Oh.
Oh damn.
Oh no.
Yeah, they need to fix that shit.
Yeah. No, don't even bother.
Just, that
dude, it's a fun game, but like, don't buy it.
It's
now.
fun when it works. Exactly. Don't buy it.
Yeah, don't buy it now. Like, wait for it to be fixed when it's $20.
Brett, sell
it. Sell that shit. You know. All right, we're done here. So, has anybody got anything to plug? Oh, Manny. Do. Oh, you have. Excuse me.
I do. Well, one of my projects. Well, a project I finished actually in October actually just got announced. It is. I actually have a cover of Transformers Beast Wars that I did. That's going to be coming out in May, and going to be your boy. So that's coming out in May. So be on the lookout for that. It's actually the week after my birthday.
Nice.
So good stuff. And again, also there's plenty of stuff coming. Stuff. And by the way, that Beast Wars cover is not the only robots I will be drawing for IDW.
You got more robots.
I got some more robots. Can't say what kind of robots, but there will be.
Go bots, let's go.
Can we guess? Does it?
No, we can't. No, we can't. I can't. I wouldn't be able to tell if you were right or wrong.
Damn it.
Yeah, come on. We got to adhere to the NDA, man. You know.
Yep.
All right, Adam, do you have anything?
Probably either tomorrow or the day after, we'll have another episode of I Am Negan. That's our TWD Universe podcast, The Walking Dead. That's back for those who didn't know. This is their final season. Yeah, so we're up to episode 10, right, for season 11. And it's myself, Rich Bailey Jr., and Carlos.
Oh, yes.
So, you can check that out. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. I Am Negan. There you go.
Good stuff. And as for myself, I will be doing another session of Bright Live. You can see the link over on my Twitter at Romudeth. It's pinned. I'm going to be doing another lesson on not game journalism, just journalism in general, just how to thrive and succeed. Like, okay, you got your foot in the door. You've been writing. How do you do this successfully without driving yourself fucking crazy, you know, because there's a lot of burnout, you know, so I'm going to teach you how to overcome that, you know. And also, speaking about Horizon Forbidden West, you go over to Tom's Guide and read not only my review, but some tips and tricks and an editorial. I've been going in on this game, man, you know. And also, since Carlos already mentioned it, Thursday we will be doing a What Have We Been Playing Lately, where we will tell you what we thought of the game. You know, so be on the lookout for that. So, Chris, start playing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Brett just told me to throw out Dying Light. So
yes. Throw that shit out. Basura. You know?
Yeah. He's sending you over a cauldron to burn it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony, by the way,
you've already spent the money on it. Play it till it breaks.
Yeah.
I just got to the part where you find out who's behind everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, all right. Oh.
Behind everything. Behind everything. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not even going to say anything. I'll text it to you.
Yeah, don't fuck it up.
Carlos is like, I found Kaiser Sose.
By the way, I can't say this. I can't say this is not inside. I mean, it is insider baseball, but it's still funny. Kishako says, Tony doing a review of Elden Ring. Hell no. I was offered it. Tony, do you want to review Elden Ring? I said, no, I want to play that for fun. You know, because I'm not trying to play that kind of game, rush through it. I want to take my sweet time, man. Savor it like fine wine. You know what I'm saying?
I do have a question for Tony.
Yeah.
So maybe, and let me know if you can answer it or not.
Oh.
But
I can answer it after the show, you know.
When you reviewed Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes.
Do you play that game during your office hours or your
by the way, here's something about games journalism in general. No one plays on their office hours. You always play on your off hours. I played it during 2 consecutive weekends. You know, it's impossible. You can't play a game during office hours because you got to write and work. You know, that's a trick. No game reviewer ever reviews a game during the office hours. It's always off hours on their own time. You know, because it's impossible. You know. Like, what do I do? I can't write today. I got to play this game. It doesn't work like that, you know? So I just go ham on the weekends. And I also notice I can't actually play games during the week. It's almost impossible. When I go to the office, I have no time at all, you know? So, yeah, it's just the weekends for me. So, I mean, I'm not trying to play Elden Ring like that, you know? Mm-hmm. Rush through that. But in general, I'm not going to be, you know, because, again, writing about games is not my primary beat. It's just something I do literally for fun, you know, so I just do it when I can. But because there has never been a time where I haven't reviewed a game, even the actual writing. I've never written a game review during office hours either. It's always on my off hours. So I have no time, you know. That's just how it is. Now you guys know about my process. Yeah, no worry. We're not going to be spoiling no Horizons. You're good. You know, we don't do that on Throwdown, you know, but there will be some, you know, moments. We can tell you that. All right, man. So we are done. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter and join the Discord where Bob Hits will always be dropping the craziest rumors. And also keep watching on the Discord because I'm pretty sure in about an hour shit's about to be popping with that Capcom announcement, either good or bad. Some motherfuckers probably disappointed. What is this shit? You know? Yeah. We're on every podcast app on the planet throughout the show. Also, I'm Negan is probably on every podcast out. You know, everything. You know, go check both of us out. Throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes and YouTube. If you are watching us on the YouTubes, either on Monday or Friday, would somebody just throw money at us in a minute? Excuse me, Bob Hits with the money, man. See, I'm okay with that interruption because it's money, you know. Anyway, YouTube, hit like, subscribe, all that if you enjoyed the content. Again, we never tell you that shit up front. We tell you at the end of the show. We want to know that you watched it and you enjoyed it. You know, motherfuckers coming in 15 seconds if we don't even start. Make sure you smash the like button. Motherfucker, I don't know you. You know?
I hate it.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
And then
make sure you smash the like button.
And then comes the commercial for Dollar Shave Club or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like 15 minutes, 15 seconds in, we're eating commercials, you know? Barry, he goes, Capcom's going to reboot Mighty Number 9.
And first, a word from our sponsor. Do you like Viagra?
Yeah,
do you need help with? Do you have?
You have a small penis. We can fix that.
Are you shaving your balls while using an unsecured line?
Yeah, right.
Don't forget to get your portrait painted by paintyourportrait.com.
Yeah. Shave your balls and check out our ExpressVPN. You know?
There you go.
Anyway,
and use your VPN to play Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh God, here we go.
You need a tattoo in the Midwest.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, links to everything down below. Once again, I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, everybody.
And Brett Murdoch.
I tried Cyberpunk last night again. I almost got out of the tutorial before it started bugging.
Damn, already.
I was playing it. It was working for me. It was working for me, Brett. You playing on the Xbox?
Which console was it on?
Yeah.
Did you play it on?
Yeah, I was playing on the
5
Xbox.
or-
I was playing on the Xbox. All the
Did
subtitles got stuck on the screen, so I had the same subtitles from like 10 minutes ago.
Is this a fresh copy or is this the update?
Brand new game.
No. All right, so you
just reinstalled it, updated it. Brand new game.
Oh wow, the game that keeps on giving. Yo, by the way, Carlos, this is the shit I do on my hours. I don't know if you can see the little alien there.
Oh,
you got little aliens.
You know. All right, people. We'll see you on Thursday.
Is that what people calling it these days? They're little aliens.
Yes, my little alien. You know. All right, later, people.
Latest.
Peace.